Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Minimalism Made Simple podcast. My name is Rebecca, and I am the blogger over at minimalismmadesimple.com. I encourage you to head over and check out that website as I have several worksheets and checklists for you to print absolutely for free. So, thank you for tuning in today, and let's get started with today's episode. Hi everyone, thank you for joining today. So this is actually the third episode that I'm putting out this week. I had a bit more time, so I wanted to provide more content for you guys. And my podcast episodes tend to be between 10 and 15 minutes, and this is because I really like to give you some actionable strategies and tips that you can use in your daily life. And that's why I try to produce more episodes, but I keep them on the shorter side rather than just kind of rambling on every week. I just try to produce more episodes. And this is going to differ week to week. It really just depends how busy I am that week. But this week I had, like I said, more time. So I decided to produce more content for you guys to listen to. So today's episode is going to be about 7 ways to instantly minimize your life. In today's society, we have so much focus on things. Homes and apartments are just stuffed full of these excessive things, and the clutter around us is truly unhealthy and leads to many other issues down the road. So this lifestyle is not desirable, and people are taking things into their own hands and taking back control of their lives. This is being done by adopting a minimalist lifestyle. So you probably have interest in adopting a minimalist lifestyle or currently live a minimalist lifestyle. That might be why you're tuning into this podcast. So while it seems like a scary leap, there are some great aspects of living a more minimal life. Minimalists live by enjoying life's experiences rather than having things in excess. This is not limited to clutter, but it also includes decreasing and getting rid of any debts. This helps to cleanse the mind and leads to overall happiness. But how can this bliss be reached? So I put together 7 ways that you can instantly minimize your life and start living as a minimalist. So I want to dive into those 7 ways for you today, and hopefully you can begin to apply them to your daily life. The first way is to decrease your debt. So this may seem overstated. However, tackling any debts is critical to getting closer to a minimalist lifestyle. This is because there will be less money being dished out for debt payments. Now, I did a podcast episode recently about 10 minimalist budgeting tips for beginners. So I recommend you head back and check out that episode because it could really help you when it comes to budgeting and budgeting like a minimalist. So as the debt trickles down, the overall happiness and blissfulness can be reached. This can be done through minimalist budgeting, which includes making priorities and sticking to them to help reach your goals. It's important to follow through with these plans, and in turn, the habits created will continue to be lived as a result. They will be healthy habits that will be formed. We can all use some more healthy habits in our life, right? So the way number 2, or tip number 2 that I have for you today, is to change your schedules. So our schedules tend to be overbooked and stressful. Like relieving this seems impossible at times, especially when you have a full-time job, when you have children, when you have just responsibilities in general, right? So however, this is possible. Saying that there is no way to find time for squeezing in an activity that you enjoy is really just an excuse. You can always try to find the time. All of our responsibilities make it seem like there is not enough time for things we like, when in fact, they could be put into any schedule. We just have to learn how to manage our time correctly. This change in a weekly or even daily schedule will relieve some stress from the timeline in your life and really allow you to enjoy something. The third tip for minimizing your life is to start decluttering. Now, one of the biggest ways to minimize your life is to limit the number of things around you. This can include anything from clothing, furniture, or things like that. However, this should not be confused with just throwing things away. So you have to question when you're decluttering whether or not something serves a purpose or whether or not you need it as much as you think you do. So I always say that the process of decluttering is a slow process. It's not something that you should do quickly. It's something that you should do intentionally and with time. The process of decluttering helps you to clear your mind and leads to overall happiness. The fourth way to start minimizing your life is to limit your goals. So while setting goals is very important for anyone's self-development, and I am a big fan of setting goals, it is also equally as important not to overdo it or to set unrealistic goals. So setting too many goals can be overwhelming and unachievable. And this can lead us to expecting too much from ourselves. So knowing that we've set limited goals that are attainable help us to process them better and to achieve them. So what you can do is once those goals have been reached, then it's perfectly acceptable to set more goals. Never stop setting goals. Just make sure that the amount of goals at once is not too much for your plate. Tip number 5 is to value experience over stuff. So whether it's time we're spending with ourselves or our loved ones, one of the biggest things about minimizing your life is to live by experiences. So valuing all the experiences and moments we're living in helps aid the minimalist lifestyle. There is so much going on outside of tech and all the stuff cluttering our lives that sometimes we are a bit naive to it. So taking the time to live in those moments will lead to a better lifestyle and help you to focus on minimizing your life. Tip number 6 is to get rid of broken or damaged things. So if it's broken or damaged, why are we hanging on to it? Now, this could be a question we can ask ourselves in our daily lives because everybody is guilty of this at some point in their life. So while there are essential things that we need, for example, if I'm talking about my kitchen, there are things that I need to cook, like pots or pans or silverware, but there's many things that we tend to hang on to that we don't need. If we are holding on to things that have gone way past their prime time, getting rid of these things will make for a better minimized life. So it is acceptable to invest in a good set of pots and pans, for example, so you don't feel obligated to keep collecting more of it. Why is this? It's because we want to invest in quality and not in quantity. If we invest in quantity, it becomes a vicious cycle of buying all over again. But if you know that you have a good set of kitchen essentials that are going to last you for a long time, then it will eliminate the need to recollect new things and to spend our time and money collecting more of something that we don't need. The 7th way to minimize your life is to remove emotional clutter. So I always say that decluttering is not only about physical things like in your home, but it's also about mental and emotional clutter as well. So part of minimizing your life starts with a clean slate and a fresh mind. Having a clear mind helps us to see things more clearly, and this includes getting rid of all the emotional baggage that could be wearing you down. Sometimes we feel inclined to hang on to emotions that aren't healthy, and this prohibits us from moving forward. This may not be an easy feat. You may have to work on yourself a little bit to get rid of this emotional baggage or the emotional things that are weighing you down, but it is an important one along the path of minimizing our lives. And those are just 7 of the many steps that you can take towards a minimized life. So taking these steps is a decision that is completely up to you. I personally believe that it helps in the overall happiness and well-being of ourselves and those around us when we try to minimize our life. So all you have to do is take this list as a simple guiding point to start in the right direction and head towards a better, clutter-free, and clearer life. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. I hope that these 7 ways to minimize your life has been both beneficial and helpful for you. Don't forget that you can head on over to my website at minimalismmadesimple.com to see this in written format and follow those steps one by one. You can also download some free printables that I have, which are workbooks and check sheets to help you during your minimalist journey. So I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.